Hello, everyone. Welcome again to this wet and dark Monday. So, welcome to Waterdeep Mallrats Blackstar Lane episode.
Cat
4. Episode 4. It's a good way to start, isn't it? I am cultured. I am a European.
A European.
A European, exactly. So, welcome everyone, and I hope you've had a good week so far, and you haven't gone crazy yet. So we've had some crazy week news over the weekend. So now let's hope that we can kind of settle in a little bit into this week and do things that I don't know, play D&D and I don't know, other things that nerds do, play games and stuff, I suppose. Watch Star Trek and paint miniatures. So. A drink heavily, I think is the other one. So I want to kind of just like say hello to everyone. So Evie, you've been busy this week.
I have been busy. I have a couple of things to say about this week. So first of all, I was on a podcast, my first ever podcast, and it was kind of nerve-wracking because you've got to be really careful about talking over the other people. And I get really excited. It's a Great British Bake Off podcast. With the lovely, wonderful Kurt Clark.
Yeah.
Shout out.
He asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, yes, Kurt, I will do anything. So that was really super fun. And if you do fancy listening to it, if you are a fan, I hate plugging, by the way, but if you do fancy listening to it, you can go to robhasawebsite.com and listen to them all, because they're all really good reviews of each episode. But if you fancy listening to my dulcet tones, Series 11, Episode 7.
So maybe Dan could pop a link on the chat for that if you could. That'd be great. Of course, because I don't know if you guys know, but Kurt, for the long-term listeners, Kurt, who played Urki back in the day, feels like such a long time ago, has been doing like food-related podcasts for quite a while actually. So do check it out. He sent us this really weird video about like him eating sweet dessert hummus. I'm just going to place that into the chat for people to react to. Dessert hummus.
How do we feel about that? Yay.
Not good. No, bad.
That video was so funny. Oh boy.
With oh boy.
There's certain things that about 72 million Americans get right, and then there's certain things that are just completely wrong, and dessert hummus is definitely one of them.
The thing is, I'm sure it's tasty, but I just don't like it on principle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to dip in it.
No,
what are you meant to dip in a dessert hummus?
I know, and he's there. Kurt's there with Oreos. I'm not really plugging his food critique very well, am I? Yeah, he has no taste in food at all because he uses his Oreos to dip into dessert hummus. He uses his Oreos. But do check them out because they're brilliant. I literally every day I think I watch a coffee challenge every day. A coffee battle I think it is actually. But do check them out. They're really fantastic to kind of listen to. So have a look. And of course, our wonderful Evie is talking about Great British Bake Off in there, which I haven't seen an episode of yet.
It's good. It's good this year.
Like I usually watch
really good. There was a lot of innuendo in the podcast because there was a lot of innuendo. So.
But isn't Prue's not in it anymore? Right?
Prue is in it. Yeah, it was Mary Berry who got the axe when they went over to Channel 4. I know. Very sad. I know. I say in the podcast, I'm like, it divided the nation more than Brexit did.
You got Noel Fielding. That makes up for every Mary Berry. He's like 14 on each other's shoulders. He's amazing.
He is so great.
Yeah, so Oshi's going to die today. No, I love Mary Berry. She's such a drinker. I love her.
So is Prue.
No Fielding could be a dad. You don't know.
Oh, Prue.
He's like half snake.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, not in a bad way.
Yeah, always. The other thing I've been doing this week, pretty much constantly, is I've got obsessed with a game on PlayStation, Hitman 2.
Great game.
Oh,
yeah, great game.
Literally wake up because obviously I'm staying on my friend's sofa at the moment, and I wake up and I just go, well, it's there, and I just start playing it. I cannot stop. I love it. It's brilliant.
You're ragey.
Yeah.
If there are no witnesses, then no one witnesses it. And if that means you kill the entire town, then who will be there if a tree falls in the forest, is what I'm saying.
They're all dead. They're all dead now.
Such wise words from your content.
I've been working on my words this week. I'm sure you can tell.
Namaste.
Motherfucker.
The last thing that he whispers as he pulls out the little wire. Stay.
So good. So yeah, that's been my week. Hitman and Bake Off.
Nice. Such like polar opposites of each other. Unless you're planning to kill somebody with a cake.
Yeah, well, I did it with the soda can the other day. That was fun. No, in Hitman, not in life.
We've descended into anarchy already.
I know.
Oh, this is going to be a great episode. I can feel it in my bones. Right. Mr. Thompson. Let's swiftly move on to murder and stuff.
I'm very well, thank you. Just ate a curry. It's digesting its way through me right now, and I'll update you as it goes.
Oh, beautiful.
Welcome,
Thanks, Rob.
Madras, in case you were wondering.
Oh,
The spicier
I was wondering,
of the
actually.
selections.
I really was. Oh dear. So have you been playing any games recently?
Yep. Still on Oblivion. Still on Oblivion. Playing that. Kind of getting bored. I didn't think I would, but I know, Gabs, it's a shock. Yeah, just the annoying thing about playing Oblivion is once you play Skyrim, I think not that Skyrim's better, but I'm just kind of like, God, I want to play that again. Let's stick to curry. It's a lot more exciting than the games I've been playing, I think.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Mr.
I'll keep
Thompson,
working on my words.
For your wise, your wise words and beautiful wisdom, and Chin as well.
Well, I'm not wearing a mask this week. That's a bonus.
That is bonus. It'd be so much great, man. I mean, I really pride ourselves on our interesting material that we're able to create on this.
We can't do it in the. We can do it in the fantasy world.
Exactly. We're completely, utterly boring in every single way in real life. Talk about boring. Dan, how you doing?
It couldn't have been either of us, Dan. I was
Fired.
All right, okay, I see where this is going. Cool. You kill one person in cold blood when everyone else is tackling a fire, and then all of a sudden you become. All right, whatever. I
Single-handedly move the story on by slitting the throat of some lord.
Hey! Stabbed the spinal column. Thank you very much. I'm not. First and foremost, I've decided that dessert hummus is going to be my drag name. And there was a lot. I'm sorry, Kurt, but there was a lot of people not enjoying so much the dessert hummus. Except for who was it? Emma. Hi, Emma. Has never had hummus ever, so it's undecided.
Well, don't start with dessert.
Emma.
My cousin Emma.
Is that Emma Hart?
That's
cousin
it.
Emma?
My cousin Emma. Right, I'm sending you some hummus in the post.
It'll like be dead in like 2 days.
It's gonna be a soggy envelope.
Oh my god!
Yeah, at least put it in some Tupperware.
That's my drag name, Soggy Envelope.
Soggy envelope.
Yes.
See, this is it. When the material runs dry, you can rely on me and Gabs to bring the fill. There you go. But we've got loads and loads of people in the chat. It's already been really, really active already. So I hope I don't miss anyone. Hi, Bevans. Hi, Kurt. Hi, Darren. Welcome back. Mama Thought. Emma the Heart. I think that's... Oh, and Ferg. And Ferg is...
It's good to see
Kurt has had a
Ferg
brilliant
again.
idea that we should have a game of Mallrats Among Us. which I think is a genius idea.
Show.
So
That is
by the
such
look
a
of
good
everyone's face,
shout.
let's see if we can set that up. And Bevans would like to know if there's been any updates from Dress to Impress.
Oh, of course there have. Yeah, always.
Oh,
Always.
of course. Yo, we've got a planned
Don't worry.
segment for that. Don't worry. So we'll get to that in a few seconds. But what else have you been up to, Dan? Because we literally just like passed you and went straight to chat. So let's.
Well, while you were too busy laughing at your hilarious joke of calling me boring, you missed the fact that I've actually done nothing this week at all. So you should feel thoroughly vindicated by that. I've had a wonderful week of just relax and escapism, because I figure it's the first week of lockdown 2 Electric Avenue, so I'm gonna just relax and chill because I've got nothing else to do.
That's true. Exactly. I think also because we didn't get to play last week.
No, we did not. Yeah, we
No.
cliffhanger.
No, so we had a week off for a little bit. I think it's interesting, but we've been creating new characters for a new
We
game.
have.
Enjoy. Yeah. So our good friend Mr. Josh Ellison, who still hasn't watched a
he's a
single
bastard.
episode, has is doing Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is one of the new modules that have just come out. So there's quite a big party. It's like six of
yeah.
us. So I'm looking forward to starting that, and I think we're going to do alternative Wednesdays to sort of like save a day, but give me a day off so I can actually plan some stuff that's proper. So I think that's going to be quite fun. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, and what is it you're playing?
I am playing a lizard folk ranger. Hopefully going to go in the Gloomstalker direction. And I've been discovering all the wonderful joys about potential spells and about potential things I can do with that combination. I'm excited.
So very Pups Forge of Fury.
Yeah, I did take a lot of inspiration from Pups Forge of Fury, and I think also with this kind of adventure, the campaign, you're going to need a lot of like survival skills and ability to make food, make water, things like that. And I think it feeds into being a lizard folk as well, because they're very just like unidirectional. It's like, yeah, we're going to need to, this is what we need to do, and get your emotions out of the way. This is what we do to survive.
Yeah, very Noel Fielding, which is really good. Sorry. Okay, cool. So that's why I chose a race that doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, doesn't drink, doesn't get affected by the weather. That was why I chose that.
Character so drunk.
I know, right? And Rob, you're playing something a bit different, aren't you? A little bastard.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. Anyway, the curry's getting on well, and I'm playing a trickster cleric.
Ooh.
With a funny accent, which I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but I'll tell the viewers. Tell the viewers once it's happened.
Okay.
All right, cool. So maybe we could do a little recording of it and play it when you actually reveal it. But like, just to say, the last trickster cleric I played with, we did the Tomb of Annihilation, which is like in Chult, which is like in this big jungle, and they played a trickster. And essentially, what they did, spoiler alert, anyone who's going to be playing, spoiler, they started picking up all of the gifts from the gods, and so they became godlike. And they were this tiny little gnome that can make themselves look like two people. And they literally just fucked about for 20 sessions and became a god, and then went off chasing Azarak across the plains. Last being seen in a frozen wastelands in a place called Scotland, in a little raincoat, saying the words, "Oh dear, I'm a lost little girl in the woods. Whatever should I do?" And trickster clerics are so much fun. They only listen to their gods, and they do exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and they are brilliant. So I think you're going to have so much fun playing trickster cleric. It's going to be brilliant. I cannot wait to start that campaign. Anyway, let's move back over to how our week's been. Let's go back to reality, because reality is more important. We should really be thinking about reality. So, yes. Gabby.
I'm good, thanks. Week has been good because I haven't left the house again, because we're not allowed to, which is a really lovely excuse. So I've got like a little play I'm writing. So I've been writing that, but also on the games front, I don't have a games console. I'd really like a Switch. So if anybody out there wants to buy me a Switch, I'd really love one. But obviously, being unemployed is kind of. Should you spend £300 on a Switch or you rent? So you like you have to be sensible and get in reality. But I really like playing Animal Crossing on my phone. And then my other favorite game is Sniper 3D. So I go for making sure my camp is okay and all the little animals that come around are okay. And then you go and you be a sniper in places. It's so good. It's like the balance of a monk,
You're going to have some very interesting dreams.
Yeah.
She doesn't sleep.
God, Joe.
Just stays wide awake, staring at the wall.
Ready.
Yeah. Real nice. I mean, I've gone a little bit of a crazy obsession play at the moment. I've been playing Medieval Total War 2. I don't know if anybody from the old school who've ever played that game. Essentially, it's a really horrible game where you sit there and go, religion is really important to destroy the world. And it's an interesting one, but I've been completely obsessed with it. Completely fucking obsessed with it. I think it's because it's a turn-based campaign game, but then the battles are all in real time, so you can do proper strategy, which has been really good. But I've been playing a lot of board games as well. Yeah, so I picked up Mice and Mystics, which was fucking brilliant. Anyone who wants to kind of get into the feeling of D&D, but in a really light setting. Essentially, you're mice that are you were human. You've shrunk down to mice in order to kind of escape, and you go off and you fight things like rats and cockroaches and spiders. It's absolutely brilliant. I had so much fun playing that. I also my partner Natalie Nat20, she got me Nefertafel. If any of you historical buffs out there, it's a ancient Viking game. So it's very similar to chess, but you have like a white team which is defending and the black team that's attacking. And it's a great game. I've never won a single game being the attackers in it. It's brilliant. So anyone wants to look at historical gaming, that is definitely one to kind of check out.
Really fun.
So yeah, much fun. Yeah, really fun. So worth having a look at. But I'd say it's that thing of, I think computer games for me is sort of a pastime, but board games definitely something that I enjoy. All right. Well, thank you everybody. Now we need to go to our edited absolute segment, which is the Dress for Impress segment. So Mr. Rob Thompson.
Hello and welcome to this week's segment of Dress to Impress, the reviews. I'm Rob Thompson. I've been watching some terrible daytime television, and today I want to talk about season 2, episode 30 of the worst show on television, Dress to Impress, in which single women from Hertfordshire, Kent, and Essex compete for the affections of musician Jack. Now, Jack has the personality of a dessert hummus, I'm fairly sure. And is one of those characters that you know very quickly that they're involved in the arts. I know that we're involved in the arts, but you know the kind of people that we're talking about. It's like when you see like drama school students and you're like, you can spot them from afar and you can go, I bet those are drama school students, because they're like climbing on the walls and they're like, they've got their shoes off in the middle of the street. Jack is one of those people. Now I think it was like Ellie, Sarah, and somebody else. They're about as dry as plaster, and aren't very good at picking clothes. I think the winner was maybe Ellie with some sort of a dressing gown outfit, which Jack thought was close to David Bowie. God, he was such a wanker. Like, my days. Fucking hell. Like, you can't compare yourself to Bowie, but he did on several occasions.
No, don't.
Yeah, no. I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to be popular for it, but I wish it was funeral attire he'd been dressed in. Because
he was going to David Bowie's funeral.
no, because he should have been put in the ground. Anyway.
So dark today.
And that is my thank you for listening to this week's Dress to Impress segment. I'll be back with some more very jaded views on the worst show on television. Thank you very much.
I think I need to design some graphics for this.
and a
I think I'm
jingle.
going to do this for next week. Yeah, I'm going to make it so like Tunk's head is this big, like across the entire screen with a little thing. Like, that's it. It's done. All right, we're going to do it. Right.
Okay, good. This is going to become the new Mallrats.
Oh. Exactly. Episode 30. How many episodes
That's just
is in
season
the
2.
season?
There's season 3 as well. I'm going to start getting deeper into this now as well. I'm going to make sure I've got some proper material for you next time and not just hatred of a man named Jack.
Oh, no. Anyone who compares themselves to Bowie should die. I think that's a good thing.
We're compassionate people on Mallrats.
Yeah, yep, exactly. I'm sorry, but no. That's just not something you do. Oh, my word. Oh, it's Jack. Right, there's a character called Jack in this show today. Right, okay,
So much title.
This is what Rob Thompson does to me. He influences me. He's such an influencer. Like, if he eats somewhere, I'm gonna go eat the grass. Like, I am ready.
Life, mate.
Okay. Well, I say thank you and hello to everybody who's on the chat. If you're not chatting, you should be actually, because we have a wonderful community of people who are here watching, who chat with us. So just say hello, and I'm sure people will have a chat with you. Bevins will definitely have a chat, and Kurt, and of course Mama Thorpe will definitely have a chat as well, and Ferg, and Emma, cousin Emma, really good to see you, and Darren.
God, Darren.
Darren, who's catching up. Love Darren.
Yeah, Darren, our new resident of Blackstar Lane. We figure out where Darren lives. Actually, we haven't done that yet. So maybe Darren, you tell me where you live, what number it is, or even just tell me the shop that you live above, and we'll go from there. All right. If you notice, guys, I've been picking up many different glasses today. Because I do have this serious problem where when I get a little bit nervous, I pick up a drink, and unfortunately, I've got like 2 or 3 around me tonight. So today, tonight. So sorry, Mum. I love you. All right, cool. So should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've waffled on for 25 minutes.
Our longest intro yet.
I know it's the longest. Last week was our shortest.
Balance
Equal
and harmony.
and balance.
This week,
Yeah.
balance and harmony, absolutely. All right. Okay, so last week, Blackstar Lane was a little bit of a crazy one, actually. So you guys went to a opening of the Watchers gambling den, or casino, I think it's classically known as. And say, Becky, you got onto a high rollers table.
Oh yeah, I did. She did very well actually.
I think she did really, really well as well. Of course, Tunk didn't get to spend anything.
Tried.
Aw.
Wasn't allowed in, was I?
Tried so hard.
Didn't know who I was.
No. And Gabby, you met an old twat. So yeah, or she met somebody from her past, which resulted in a coin flip.
Did the chance of death or not, and it landed on heads, which rhymes with dead. So he's a dead sea guy. No.
Or tacos.
Yep. And who did it?
This guy.
Yes, you did. So you murdered him in the street.
Oh, a back street, you know.
Tried so it wasn't murder.
Was not like a school or something.
No.
Yeah, it's fine, right? Backstreet. It's great.
But somebody cleaned the mess up. for you,
Yeah,
didn't
this
they?
like shadowy figure came out, killed the witness, and then sort of pointed to their eye and then to me. And then I went.
Yeah, their bald, shiny head. You could just about see the barcode on the back of their head.
It's Evie.
Drag.
Yeah.
Yep, as he pulls cookies out of another. But yeah, so someone cleaned up the mess for you and then did a watch at you. But of course, Gabby or Oshi, somebody spoke to you about cleaning up stuff as well.
Yeah. Old Elfon asked said that he could help if we needed anything cleaning up. But to be honest, we were cleaning up his clubhouse at the time, so I think we were the ones that were helping cleaning up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you start going home. You went home after the cleaning up, and something dramatic happened. Big fat cigars caught on fire. And Mr. Tunk, what did you do?
Ran into the fire.
Are you ready to the fire? Because there was a family upstairs that also needed to be saved. And you ran up to find Big Fat's unconscious. This warforged body.
Quite a big boy.
He is a very big boy, about the size of a mini. And you managed to pick him up and then jump
seemed
out
like a
the
sensible
window.
thing to do.
But luckily, you've got some sensible friends. So Oshi and Baggy were there. They created a plan for a parachute bag, wasn't he? Really, and he caught him just about, and he made it safe. But there was also the Squeak family, family of goblins that were living on the second floor. And Mrs. Squeak jumped out and was hurt quite badly, but she's all right. Mr. Squeak sort of jumped out with one of the kids, but the other kid refused to leave. And managed to kind of, through the voice of, was it Oshi or was it Baggy that called for the kid to jump?
I think it was Tunk, actually.
It was Tunk. Yeah, you can be strong like me, kind of.
Yeah.
Was it Tongue?
Because he was a big fan. They were a big fan of Tunk, I think.
Oh. They jumped out. And everyone sort of, Tunk realised that he wasn't going to get
Not even close.
them. Oshi realised that Tunk wouldn't be able to catch them and went to catch them and missed. For the hands of Alphonse to catch them underneath. The fire itself burnt for three hours. No other building was burnt, which is quite important. Especially as Madame Vigine had brought out all of the girls to come in with the water, and they were fighting the fire itself. And Mr. Captain's bird's eyes didn't burn down either, which is quite important to me, because chicken dippers are life.
Amen.
So, so I'm happy that Mr. Captain's bird's eyes hasn't gone down yet. So that's kind of the situation that we were left in. And of course, Pups then sort of came back, and after, would it fair to say you enjoyed killing someone?
I enjoyed protecting the family, is what I enjoyed. That's what I enjoyed.
Don't creep.
And of course, Becky, you haven't examined the spyglass yet either.
And I keep meaning to do it. So I should probably get on with that.
Things keep getting set on fire, though.
Did a lot.
I know. Everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that. Oh, and you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk through that actually, because I think this is quite an important moment for our viewers. So, they leveled up, which means that in our commoners system, they're like -3, and they get what's called a mild flavouring.
The seasoning.
Which exactly, so Kurt, do listen to that because I want that in a podcast. Mild flavouring,
Okay, right.
definitely not Madras life. So essentially, each of you took a feat. Essentially, that kind of corresponds to something that you might be leaning towards. So should we quickly kind of go around and see what they mean? So Oshi, being that you're leaning towards rogue.
We went with school. Sorry.
What was it?
We went with Skulker, so Oshi is an expert at slinking through shadows. So she can try and hide when she's lightly obscured from a character, and hopefully try and hide from them. And then when if Oshley's hidden and then she fires a ranged attack and I miss, it won't give away my location to the person I fired it at or the being I fired it at. And also dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on wisdom or like perception rolls made with sight.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see Oshi hiding in more crazy spaces. That's kind of what we're looking towards now. Nice. Okay, and Tunk, you're leading towards
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Okay, and then what does that mean? What feet did you?
Well,
did you
feet or
get for that?
hands, Joe, don't mind. I'm going to be running straight at my enemies with both of them.
You know what? I am slowly walking away from the dressing now.
I got Charger, so it means that if I run at someone in a straight line, I can hit them harder. So the enemies are the door to Big Fats, and the place is burning down, and I'm running towards it.
Nice. Really, really nice. So you get this like add a
+5 to damage
isn't it?
rolls,
To
yeah.
your attack.
And I can shove them.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, that is also true. So you can push them back 10 feet as well as another way. But I think that like I'm looking forward to seeing this mythical club.
Everyone wants
in
to go
action.
clubbing with Tunk.
Club Tunk. God, it sounds like
It
it's
sounds so
awful
bad.
downtown
so bad.
Miami club. Only play Swag House. That's what they do. Okay. Evie, what did you go with? Because obviously Artificer. So in our system, the system that we were using, we didn't have an Artificer because it hadn't come out at this point. So we kind of like put one together. So let me know what's going on. With you?
Magic Initiate. So I get 2 cantrips and 1 first level spell that I learn, and I can only, if I use any of them, I have to have a long rest. So we've got Mending, which is perfect, obviously Baggy and her. We've got Guidance, which will be very, very useful, and Identify as well. So.
Yeah, so just to clarify, it's your first level spell that if you use once.
Oh, so
your cantrips are your cantrips.
Cantrips.
You know those
amazing.
cantrips.
So thank you, Joe. So I can use my cantrips a lot.
Yeah, because guidance is going to be so important. And the way that I kind of like calculated this is that Baggy's getting to the point of calculating the risk. Calculating the trajectory. I think my mate of mine, actually Josh, said to me, have you ever seen Road Trip?
Yes.
I've never seen Road Trip, but this is how he described it. Whereas like there's a moment in Road Trip, there's a stoner and you can drive, they come to a bridge and the bridge has got a hole in it. And they're like, oh, we have to turn around. And the stoner suddenly pipes up and goes, we can jump it. If we go 60 miles an hour and we do a run up of like 80 feet, we'll be able to kind of make it. And this is how I kind of thought about guidance, was that Baggy is able to calculate.
Like kind of risk and all that kind of stuff. Right, is it? Love it. Great.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. And Identify is a great spell, being able to identify magic items.
Very useful.
Very, very useful. As our only magic user, it's quite an interesting mix at the moment, because a lot of you have possibilities of becoming magic users later on. And then, okay, so Pups had an interesting question, an interesting direction to think about.
Yeah, so Pups has taken the Tavern Brawler feat with the view of potentially one day growing up and becoming a monk. Maybe.
Seems like a sensible transition.
Yeah.
So what does Tavern Brawler mean?
I get +1 to my strength or my constitution, which is amazing. It gives me proficiency with improvised weapons, which I'm really looking forward to. My unarmed strikes deal for a D4. And then also, if I do hit someone with an unarmed strike or an improvised weapon strike, as a bonus action, I can then look to grapple them.
Exactly. So Pups with the chair. Exactly. smack down.
I've got so many plans.
So this is quite an interesting. Yeah, it's quite an interesting kind of mix of different things. So shall
Let's do
we
it.
jump in?
Yeah.
Give the people what they
Right,
want.
Woo!
So we see a robed figure round the corner of Snail Street. He has a small bell and a tiny brush. He rings the bell. Bing! Drops to his knees. Begins to sweep a single cobblestone of the street. His saffron robes seem completely alien to the rest of this grey and smoky, foggy atmosphere of Blackstar Lane. His mandala hangs in the wind as he duly cleans a single cobblestone. He stands, brings his feet together, rings the bell, and takes a step forward and cleans the next cobblestone. Ooh, got a little bit of feedback here, so my apologies, guys. We go through up the street, leaving them, going past the blackened and destroyed ruins of Big Fat Cigars. Number 23? Is that right? It's number 23.
22.
22, thank you, mate. Go past number 22, and it's that crumpled black ruins. The smoke still rising in the morning air. We walk, the camera continues, and what we notice is that the Blades family home, there are now 4 people standing outside, each of them holding on to their holsters of their blades, watching the monk clean a single cobblestone. We continue down the street. People are starting to open up. The doors are unlocking. The open sign sort of begins to move. And a tired, sleepy, red-eyed half-orc climbs down the stairs and walks to her workbench. She places a big case, opens it up, and inside is a big telescope, like a spyglass. She pulls it out and puts it down in front of her. Her hands go forward. She touches the spyglass. Something feels electrifying on her fingers. As usual, she gets hold of her screwdriver and starts taking apart. She has her boxes. The little screws for the outer casing. The bigger screws for when things are holding together. The tiny screws for the little things inside. The polish. The cloths. And she starts taking apart this object. You get down to this lens of the spyglass as you hold it up. And you notice there's this chip inside the lens itself. So you kind of go to your lens drawer, because Baggy has drawers for everything. She opens his lens drawer and none of them seem to fit. She stands and looking through, it slips out of her hand and the lens falls and lands onto her desk. Clunk. The echo sort of feels the closed shop. She looks down at the lens itself. A crack going all the way through the lens. She thinks to herself, Evie,
I have to fix this.
as she sort of holds it, as she grabs the smallest of the screwdrivers and she starts to kind of like pick at it, sort of trying to trace where this crack is. And as she touches the screwdriver to it, a spark jumps from the screwdriver. She releases back. She puts down the screwdriver and takes a cloth, and as she touches, she begins to wipe and seems to wipe away the crack itself. Your hands feel warm, hot, as you look back at this perfectly mended object. Place it down in front of you, and you look at the perfection. The thought that goes through your mind.
Initially, she would probably look around thinking it must have been someone else. And then when she realizes that no one else is in there, she looks back at it and just goes, huh, okay, I did that, but I don't know how.
There's an object that was pawned about 3 weeks ago that you've never been able to fix. What is it?
It was like a tiny miniature clock, almost like a mini grandfather clock that was on someone's like office desk.
Mm-hmm. But the top statue that's on top of it was snapped off, and you can never find the glue to work. So you pull that out,
and she just kind of holds the top statue and holds the clock and just sort of gently places it on the top.
And as you place it onto the top, you think about how important this object was to somebody. The memory of this object, and how becoming whole will somehow rectify that memory. As you tip the statue and it fuses together.
And at this point, she just places it down and kind of steps back, realizing it wasn't fluke, she wasn't imagining it. And then she grabs one of the lenses and just smashes it to pieces to see.
All of them are scattered across the table as you begin to kind of like recollect them.
And she tries to put them all together, and she places her hand over the top when she thinks it's just about, it's kind of in a circular shape, and places her hand on top.
And you release your hand, and it's this perfect circle of glass.
And at this point, I think she's probably going to run upstairs and go and tell everyone.
So you run upstairs. Dong! The person takes a step forward and cleans the next cobblestone. It's a piece of drool that's hanging out of Oshi's mouth when you run upstairs. You know, that kind of like, you know, the soaking of the pillowcase. But the smell of smoke is really prevalent in the room still. It's almost as everybody's been covered in this kind of acidic texture as you burst into the room. And Oshi's the first one to wake up because of what we talked about with your game earlier. And she kind of wakes up.
And she flips the pillow over really quickly. And Baggy is just
babbling, I think, at this point, and she's just there going, Oshi, something amazing has happened. I don't know how I've done it, but I've been able to fix things that like shouldn't have been fixed.
Isn't that your job anyway?
No, I know, but as in I made a crack in the lens of the spyglass for Elfham's spyglass, right? There was a scratch all the way down, and then I didn't really know what to do with it. I was either going to file it down or I don't know, but it was ruined, and I knew I had to fix it, so I really wanted to fix it, and then I just touched it, and it's fixed. It's completely fixed.
You know how I don't come home and talk to you lot about my day? After I've had... Sometimes that mutual respect like goes both ways. Just woken up. I know all these technical terms about filing and whatever else you said.
Okay, well listen. I fixed it without using tools.
I fixed it without using tools.
Oh no, you've woken him up.
Well, good, because he needs to know too.
Ashi.
So Oshi, you have an object that sits on your box, on your crate that's at the back of your bed. What is that object?
It is an engraved kind of highball glass, and all around the bottom it has a message engraved in what's the language he speaks? Oh, it doesn't say my languages. I can't ever say it. Well, in like the language that you auntie speak.
Okay, cool. And Becky, you see it, and you grab it.
Literally, just watch this. See?
And Oshi, you become quite panicked because this is quite a precious object. It's like somebody taking your watch for a magic trick.
Baggy. I really don't want to draw blood this early in the morning. Put that down.
Oshi, it's going to be fine.
No, use someone else's.
Okay, so to make Oshi feel better, Baggy just plonks down on the bed. and so that it's got a cushioning if something goes wrong, if she drops it, which she won't, because she's excited, but she won't. And she just goes, shh, look. She looks at Oshi and she really thinks about it, and she goes, how much does this mean to you?
More than you do.
Thanks. Okay, great. And she thinks about that. More than you do. And she puts her hand over where it's broken and just kind of closes her eyes and just thinks about how much it would mean to Oshi if it was fixed. And then she takes her hand away.
And that small chip that has always been there since you were a little girl is gone.
See?
What is going on?
What's going on?
Did you just do that? How did you do that?
I don't know for sure. I just think about what I want to happen to it and think about how important it is for some things to be mended, and then it just does it.
Oshi takes one of the bowls off the shelf unit, I'm guessing they have around like their kind of cooking area, and throws it to the floor.
And as it smashes onto the ground, you can see the words TUNK in like scrawled all over it, like Tunk's bowl that you've just thrown onto the ground. And you know it's Tunk's bowl as well, because it's got that thing where it's never been cleaned properly. So it's always got bits of food on it all the time. And it smashes, and Tunk, you wake up, and you wake up as well.
Doggy, bad doggy.
What's going on?
What's happening? What is that? Is that fire?
What's this? Go on.
You broke my bowl?
No, it's okay.
My bowl!
No.
That still had some food in it.
Tongue, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have something to show you. It's really good. I'm gonna fix this. Okay. I'm gonna fix it. And while she's saying that, she's like piecing it together so it's like vaguely in the shape it was before, but kind of flat.
There's two memories that go through Tongue's mind. A spoon and a structure, like a sculpture of a tree. The two things that go through your mind seeing it smashed on the ground.
Why'd you break my bowl, guys? You mad at Tongue?
No, it's an experiment.
Tongue, you do something wrong by jumping out of the window?
No.
We haven't talked about that yet. Should I not have jumped out the window?
No, you did a really good job, Tongue. I'm so sorry.
I was safe, Maggie. Why'd you break the bowl?
She kind of looks at Oshi like, did it have to be Tongue's bowl? And then it's like, it's okay. It's okay. And she kind of scoops it up, almost kind of trying to make this bowl figure as it kind of clinks together. And she really, really looks at Tongue. She looks down at like the writing, and again she just kind of closes her eyes and just really, really imagines it just kind of going back together.
And guys, you see these like blue wisps that kind of go between each of the parts as it kind of, and you see the word Tongue written across the bowl.
Tongue immediately slaps himself in the face.
How hard? No, cool. Yeah, he slaps himself across the face. It's like his morning coffee.
Yeah. What's going on here?
I don't know. I just know I fixed it.
Tongue gingerly walks over, his legs a foot in front of his head.
It's such a great description.
And she like gingerly grabs the bowl from Baggy and then smashes it on the floor. Can you do that again?
I assume so, but I'll try.
So you pick up the pieces and you place them into a random bowl shape and you think, and nothing quite happens. And you look over at Tongue and you kind of try to figure out why it's not happening.
Tongue, how much do you want this bowl to be fixed?
Some.
Well,
It had my name on it. I don't write my name on many things.
so when did you get this bowl?
Like last week ago when I broke my other bowl.
So does it mean a lot to you, or?
Well, stuff I ate food out of. I could chef your bowls.
I'm going to try again.
And this time you think about how happy he would be if it was fixed. So rather than before, you thought that this was a special bowl, which is why it kind of came together. So this time you think about how happy he would be that he wouldn't need to buy another bowl.
And she looks at Tongue. She goes, "Do you want me to do it again?"
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I thought you would. Okay. So thinking of that happiness and like the joy that it obviously brought Tongue to see this essentially a magic trick, she shuts her eyes and just focuses on the pieces in her hand coming together again.
And as the piece kind of clicks back together with all those blue fibers, it's there in your hand again. But this time, you have a feeling of family roast dinner. and you have a feeling that Brussels sprouts were served in this as a special occasion. Maybe at like either at high summer or maybe at harvest moon. But you feel that this is not just any old bowl. This is the kind of the good china bowl for someone, but not for Tunk, but for somebody else. And you kind of identify the object as being a special, expensive china for someone. And then you think about breakfast, and for some unknown reason, this becomes a cereal bowl. This becomes Bobby's bowl. Bobby had his porridge in this bowl. And then suddenly it changes again, and it's Tunk's bowl. And this is Tunk's bowl. And you identify this as Tunk's bowl.
Wow.
At this point, Tunk is waving his hands in front of your face. Hello! You did the magic again!
Yeah, I did. This is a really special bowl. I know that.
I know. It's Tunk's.
Well, it's yours. It is yours, but it's been used by other people before for different things, and yeah, I don't know how I know that, but you need to be really careful with it from now on. It's yours, so.
Okay. Well, thanks for fixing it, but you were also the person who broke it first, so.
Yeah.
As you all... Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, that's it.
So as you hear the ruffle of somebody turning over in their bed to face the wall. And there's a slight huff as well.
Doggy's still sleeping. Maybe don't break Doggy's bowl.
Okay. He's really tired. Why is he so tired?
Pups, we can break something of yours if you feel left out.
Oh. Seems as if like you can hear everything that's going on, Pups. But that fucking bell. It's drifting through the window.
It's like one of those sounds that you can't just hear, you can feel. It's like inside the back of your brain, and it's just eating away at Pups. Just this drone of this bell, and after trying to sleep through all of this, he just jumps up and just says, break whatever you want, I'm going for a walk, and just head straight out.
We follow behind him. So he goes past the wreck sofa. He goes past number 3B's door, and what you can hear from the bar is like, "Ah, you bastard! Fucking shit, fuck!" As you kind of go past the door and you go down the stairs and go out the back door, and you come out onto the kind of the main street, and everything feels like a little bit normal but very strangely different.
Yeah, there's like a haze. It's almost like a vibration around, like almost like that sense of like the sound is being dulled, like it's at the other side of a door or something like that, even though it's right in front, and there's this weird like that's going on either side, and Pups is trying to concentrate, but also just trying to find out where this fucking bell is coming from, and
Bing.
trying
Do you want to do a perception?
15.
Down the road, this beacon of saffron at the end of the street. Someone's on their knees doing something.
Pups beelines for the flash of saffron. Do you have to do that right now?
And you meet the eyes of a goblin. No. But if I do not, how can I move on to the next one?
Yeah, it's just, some people are trying to sleep and got families, it's
To some with a troubled mind, the sound of a brush can sound like the sound of an avalanche.
Yeah. Well, you're not from round here, are you?
No. I carry on sweeping.
What are you doing?
Looks up. Suppose you could call it penance.
Ah, did Rodders get you? Is this like a punishment?
He's too slow for me.
Yeah.
And she looks up at you and she says, Zu aka bu mama aka u. And it's a sound that you've not heard since you were 7.
And Pups is taken back to the streets of Waterdeep. Shortly before he was picked up by Clang and running with Puggle in tow, like running with half a loaf of bread, and hitting a dead end, and realizing that the people that are chasing are gaining, and suddenly hearing just exactly that word or phrase or chant. He's not sure what it was, but it gave him it stopped him from panicking and gave him a focus, and he could just see just a little crack in the wall, in the fence, and he manages to just steal Puggle and himself through before the mob got to them.
You have tired feet.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Just a pilgrim on penance. And then she stands. Bing! Takes a step forward. Goes back down. Begins to sweep. Running is tiring.
I feel like I've been running all my life.
Yes.
I don't think I know another way.
She puts up this brush. And a small, like, it almost looks like a tiny little shovel. Was that a bell? Bong.
And almost involuntarily, Pops just sort of drops.
Why do you run?
Because every time I stand and fight, I lose.
You don't stand strong enough. Maybe. Too eager to go on to the next cobblestone.
How do you know when to go to the next cobblestone?
I have a bell.
So I have to do the same one until you ring the bell.
Yes. Well, until the bell has rung.
Okay.
You start sweeping. Single one. You realise that you've been sweeping the same one for about an hour.
I glance up to see if they're still there because I've been really fixated on.
Mm-hmm. And the bell is sitting like the one behind, so it's the one that she cleaned. There's the bell.
She's gone. Okay.
No, she's still there. Zuha. Are you happy?
With the cobblestone, with life, with what? With what? Well, I don't understand.
Keep sweeping.
Keep sweeping.
As we zoom out from you sweeping above you, Zuha, are you happy?
I don't know.
Are you ready for the bell to be rung?
No.
Carry on, Zuha.
Something about that word.
Do you want to use a history check to see if you know what it
Yeah.
means?
14.
Means like seedling. Like the sprout, you know, when it's like literally like the first bit of green that comes out of the ground.
Is it in Goblin?
Yeah, it's goblin for suresies.
And Pups is racking his brain trying to figure out why that word means so much, and all of Pups's siblings were named after like young animals, but when they were really small, when they were really, really, really young, the family would call them Zuha, and it just really gives just exhales and almost like trance-like carries on, not even really thinking about what he's doing anymore, just really happy doing it.
And then you hear somebody walk past and you just go, fucking weird traitor.
Pups just...
You happy, Zuha?
Yes.
I'll continue until the bell rings.
Okay. Just keeps going.
As we kind of zoom away from the bell, just sitting at the feet of this saffron monk as you're sweeping. As we go down the street, leaving you as we turn back towards the Priest's right. As we kind of go back through that window, and we see Tunk like throwing glass
Exactly
on
what
the
I was
floor.
gonna do. Smash! Now do that one.
And Baggy's like wiping her brow, and just goes, Tunk, I'm pretty exhausted. This is the last one.
We
Okay,
just need to make sure it's not like 22nd time lucky or something.
I'm pretty sure it's not by now. I mean, we've smashed everything that you can smash in this room. I don't know. Just so weird. I wasn't able to do this before, and then now it was the spyglass though. That was the. I was fixing Alphon's spyglass.
I wonder if I can fix stuff too.
So Tunk starts grabbing all the pieces of glass, and you can see him struggling to kind of get the jigsaw puzzle. And you lay a hand on him. And you look at him and you say, I think you've got it. And you think in your mind, I think he's got it in two.
Ah.
Tunk,
Yes, Baggy.
let me try.
And he's putting the last bits together as you place your hands on him. Tunk, you suddenly feel a realization that actually, is Baggy helping me with this puzzle?
Ah.
And then Baggy, you pick up the pieces.
I think that I'm magic too, Baggy. Let me see how high I could jump.
Yeah, the sigh in the room is so loud from Oshi's bed. Oshi, what have you been thinking about this entire time watching them smash shit? What have you been thinking about?
This is fun. for about 4 minutes. Now it's too loud and really getting in my space. And I might go and get a bacon sandwich. Just
Are you sort of like you're putting your boots on? Yeah. If we go back to Baggy holding the glass.
Baggy turns to Tunk and said, Tunk, this is going to be... Yes, Tunk. This is going to be the last one. Okay, this morning.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because I'm tired and I also kind of want to go and see where Pups has gone. So do you want to do it with me and it's the last one?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let's see. Because also Baggy's kind of intrigued to see if other people touching it will affect it or not. So he encourages Tunk to kind of put his hands either side and we kind of hold this plate like together.
Mm-hmm. So Tunk, you're thinking about what it looked like originally. So let's do a history check plus guidance.
Okay. It's not going to be good.
Plus guidance, which gives you 3 and an 8. So you can see I think the thing you see is the painted rim on the top. And the center, there's a little bee. Like you love the bee. The bee is the thing that you really focus on is the bee. The bee is the thing.
The little bumblebee, Baggy.
And that actually is the crux of the puzzle for you, Baggy. Is actually, get the bee right and everything else sits into place.
So she thinks about every single part of the bee down to like its big eyes at the front that have like loads of peripheral vision and like the fur and the tiny little details and it's obviously it's a bumblebee. It's very and then the sting and just really focuses in on that.
And you look up and you see Tunk focusing on it. And that's the drive that pushes
because I really want this to work.
The bumblebee, the bumblebee, the bumblebee.
And it comes back into the plate. Tunk, I think you feel you did that.
And Tunk immediately drops it and goes, well, Tunk is magic too.
Yes, Tunk helps.
It runs around the room going, fixed.
And then you point at the door, fixed, and the door shuts as Archie leaves. As we're gonna so we're gonna take this tiny little break there. Before we move on to the next section. But well done, guys. We've got some really interesting things going on now. Really interesting ideas. So, guys, I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Please do say hello. I do obviously. Please subscribe and follow and all that kind of jazz because that's very, very important to us. The more you subscribe, the more you follow, the more we can kind of make sure that you don't miss anything from what we're doing. But magic.
Discovering magic.
Yeah. And monkism. Goblinism.
Bacon sandwiches.
Bacon sandwichism. No, that doesn't work. Okay, cool. Right. With that note, we're going to go on a break. So we'll see you guys a little bit later. I'm going to play some more throat music because that's kind of appropriate, I think. And we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes' time.